Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Today's video is going to be on Azami. Now the important thing about Azami in terms of the Night Haven top floor bomb site is going to be specifically blocking off Pillar from getting peeked from IT in particular. And the main reason why you do that is because when you're playing on this top floor section and you're playing Mira or you're playing with Pillar open for connector, you want to have some kind of like blockage for IT so that way Pillar doesn't get swung very easily from IT. And then I'm going to go ahead and also use another Azami barrier to protect next to the bomb, next to electrical doorway. And the reason why I'm doing that is because once again from IT, that's a very vulnerable position. If they swing that, they'll be able to get themselves free kills. Now I'm going to put my third one that I get here for the IT doorway for warehouse here, and the reason why is because the idea is that if people push the warehouse doorway, the idea is that they're going to have to basically crouch to peek underneath that Azami barrier or get rid of it altogether using some kind of utility. And if they don't, then it'll be a much easier way for us to be able to win the round. Now right here, the reason why I'm rotating downstairs in this position because Buck is actually below inside of control. And so I need to get rid of this guy or else he's going to go ahead and pop all the mirrors. Maybe he'll be really obnoxious for command. So it's just much easier to just go ahead and flank in this position because since I am playing Azami, I don't necessarily need to be in sight after I place my Azami barriers down. And then right here I actually got audio that somebody's on the warehouse staircase. So I'm going to swing storage here with this handy rotate that Buck made for me and get myself a free kill on this guy on the warehouse staircase. Not really sure what he was doing right there, but we ended up getting ourselves a free kill onto him. And long story short, it's a nice 3v2 position. And basically the general idea I want you guys to understand is that normally people are going to try to walk up the warehouse staircase and try to look for more kills in this type of position, which is totally okay. However, I feel like that's a very predictable play to make in this type of position, so I decided in my best interest and to make sure I don't sell my body, it'd be better just to hang out down here at least for a little bit, just so that the enemy team can't relax and know that I'm not flanking them anymore, you know what I mean? However, what I am going to decide to do for context here is I'm going to end up trying to rotate back up Aqua, and the reason why is because I feel like it'd be much easier to just win this round outright by just rotating up Aqua. I can use the two other Azami barriers that I have inside of my pocket that were recharging when I left site and be able to just basically successfully secure the round on the spot. So right here, we're going to go ahead and see that the warehouse, the warehouse wall for command is open here. So we know the enemy team is going to be trying to push for warehouse as well as the other guy in this position is going to be outside of IT in this position. So we're going to go ahead and make an Azami barrier here for a little bit of cover. The guy that shot at me outside the warehouse doorway is going to go ahead and swing me right here, and I'm going to go ahead and get myself a kill onto him. And then the one mistake I do make on this round right here is that I hold this very obvious angle on the desk right here, and this guy ends up pre-firing me. I'm really surprised this guy ended up pre-firing me, but it's okay because what's going to end up happening is my Goyo is going to go ahead and win this 1v1 position by just waiting for the Thatcher to peek into him, and he's going to go ahead and get himself a free kill to secure the round. Now I've got two little clips here that I want to show you guys as like being like the main way that you guys want to go about playing a Azami, or at least a little like tricks you want to do is you want to create like little fortresses like this position right here where I have like an Azami barrier over a doorway and then I have an Azami barrier in front of me, and you want to be creating like these weird like one ways where the enemy team can't see you, and that's going to be like the general idea that you guys want to have when you are playing Azamis. You want to create like little patches like this all over the map so that way you can get yourself free kills. Now unfortunately I'm going to end up dying in this clip. However, I did want to show you guys that just because of the fact that it is just like a very free kill overall. Like say for example my teammates don't actually die, then I can potentially use those Azami barriers as a way of just shutting down that area completely. And the other thing I want to show you is going to be in this next clip here where the enemy team is going to actually be pushing the backside for basement over on Consulate, and they're going to start jackal tracking me here. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate back down the spiral staircase here, and what I'm going to do is actually a little fancy tech where you put an Azami barrier down, and then while the Azami barrier is going down, I'm going to swing aggressively because you can actually see through the like little cracks of the Azami barrier out as it's forming to get yourself free kills on and free pre-fires on anybody in the potential path of where the Azami barrier is going out from. Now, the one thing I will recommend when it comes to playing Azami is that I do think you should get creative, honestly. You shouldn't just do what everyone else does when you are playing this operator, because you do have options of creating like really weird potential areas of the map that's like really hard for an enemy team to actually push. And it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but just like in this clip here, you're gonna see that I put up an Azami barrier fortress for dragon there, and it's like it's not as strong, I would say, as the other one that I showed previously, but it's also like it still does work, and I feel like this Azami barrier setup would be harder for the enemy team to actually push overall. since it's harder for the enemy team to actually get their utility out to get rid of the Azami bears without actually having to peek into the setup, you know what I mean? So I do feel like in that sense that Azami setup is going to be better than the one that I showed previously. However, it pretty much does the exact same thing. So being creative, I think, is a must-have when you are playing Azami. Now, right here, the enemy team is actually going to hack this Melusi for the brown staircase, for restaurant staircase walk-up. And long story short, I'm going to end up trying to shoot it to get rid of it here. And he, like I said, the Azami hacks the Melusi, and then a Blackbeard is going to go ahead and try to walk up here. So I'm going to go ahead and start dropping to flank this Blackbeard here to see if I can potentially get a free kill on this guy. Now, this guy is actually going to end up expecting me, but he's going to end up ADSing me right away, which is going to essentially give me a free kill because all I got to do is just shoot him in the face. Now, once again, when I rotate into T here, I'm going to put one of my Azami bears over the top of the doorway. This is just to create a one-way gunfight, basically. Or not really like a one-way gunfight, but like a gunfight where the enemy team would have to crouch into sight to actually be able to contest sight. So I do feel like it's worth doing this on sight doorways just because it's like a nice alternative way of using Azami. Now, I am going to end up rotating past these Azami bears because the whole enemy team is pretty much doing like a geisha drum side push. And I basically think that in this position that nobody was playing inside a dragon, which ended up being true. So I'm going to be able to successfully flank through dragon to get over to terrace here, and my other teammate ends up actually getting two of them in this position, so I didn't actually need to rotate it over here for the flank. However, there is going to still be two people outside of Geisha in this position, so I'm just going to go ahead and chill in this position for terrace. I'm not moving whatsoever, so that way the enemy team doesn't know I'm here. Unless they get a drone onto me, which is what is going to end up happening in this position. They're going to get a drone on me. However, somebody's going to walk into Geisha without actually checking for me. However, the ace in this position, the one that was droning, is actually going to end up calling out to him. So I know that guy's going to end up challenging me in this position. So I end up looking to kill the guy that walked into Geisha. I end up getting the free kill, putting us into a 4v1. The last guy's actually going to be on Repel, who was the ace who was on drone. I'm going to go ahead and swing the breach here and pre-fire, and I end up getting myself a free kill on the ace as well to secure the round. Now, next up, we're going to be on Chalet here. This is mostly going to be like a setup clip, mostly. But long story short, I'd like to put in a Azami bear specifically in this spot right here. And the reason why is because it's a good little, like, Azami bear to cut off for piano in this position, like the piano window in particular. And it'll let you play in, like, the little cubby, like inside of office. And you guys know, like, the default push on this side of the map is usually going to be for like office, clear out half wall and make a plant. So being able to play in that position is actually really strong, and like being able to go in and out of the rotate without having to worry about piano window is really powerful. As well as my other Azami bear that I put down for K9 doorway in particular, because K9 doorway is another really powerful spot that people like to sit during this office take for half wall usually. And so I feel like it's another good Azami bearer spot to use, so that way you can actually physically play inside an office without really having to worry about the specific angles, unless they do obviously break the Azami barriers. But at least having it as an option is really important, and I feel like that's the strong thing about Azami. Now, next, what's going to end up happening here, guys, is we're going to be doing a piano Azami setup. And long story short, in general, the main thing I got to focus on here is going to be the piano window, okay? Because what I want to try to do is I want to set up my Azami barriers to basically make it hard for enemy team to push the piano double door. Right here, I was thinking about blocking off this doorway, but I felt like it would do more harm than good in this position, so I decided against it. And what I am going to end up doing is I'm going to go ahead and put it over top this double door. This is something that I personally like to do with Azami, just because, like I said, the enemy team's going to have to peek you crouch, which is basically a free kill. Now right here, they're going to actually have a Flores that's going to be trying to get rid of all this utility. Now, for whatever reason, he's not going to blow up his drones early on when he is going and putting his drones through these windows. So I'm going to end up shooting out all of his Flores drones to make sure he can't actually clear out my Azami bears, which is fantastic in this position. However, the thing that needs to happen here is that I do have to get a little bit aggressive, so that way I can actually, you know what I mean, make sure that he doesn't blow up those Flores drones early. So I end up shooting another one right there. We're going to put another Azami barrier down because they shot out my one for the double door. Now right here, I'm going to go ahead and do something a little bit more risky, where I'm going to end up trying to look outside the piano window to see if anyone's playing close. I'm going to end up catching a Flores on the roof right here, kind of looking towards the bathroom window. And then I'm going to go and get a free kill on him, as well as getting a free kill on Twitch outside the window as well. And then when I was jumping back in right there, the Thermite was actually swinging aggressively. However, once again, guys, he was crouched in that position. So my other teammate, my Mute, who was playing behind me, actually swung to get himself a free kill on that guy while I was getting shot at, which I think is the whole point of Azami in the first place, is just to create a very strong overall sight setup For context, the last guy in this position is library side. My Valkyrie's going to go ahead and get the free kill onto him and secure the round. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed today's step-by-step video for Azami. Please make sure to like and subscribe.